Grist, and Red Wheelbarrow. Lisa is currently studying for her MFA in the Solstice program of Pine Manor College. Lisa lives in Aptos, California. Give it up for Lisa.
Thank you very much, Ken. Thank you for this and all of the Red Wheelbarrow folks. This is always a wonderful event. Is this close enough to the mic? Okay, good. I'm going to wear two hats this evening. This is the poet hat reading my poem, and then we'll switch hats after this. This poem is called Rob's Room. Was a lair, a den, the curtains not quite drawn, light from 4 sources, the fish tank, the lamp on the nightstand, the bright work light on the desk, and the weird green glow emanating from the oscilloscope. Sometimes he would let me in. The kid cousin allowed what the kid brother was denied. It was always for a book, Asimov, Clark, Le Guin, whatever he told me I needed to read next. If he seemed to forget I was there, I'd make myself small by the bed lamp and try to read. But the words were infused with the mysteries all around me. Equipment in various states of undress, Heathkit tube amps, preamps, paper-thin gills of woofers and tweeters, small plastic boards full of holes, arrays of little hieroglyphic constructions, and the oscilloscope. Steadily keeping time, its regular waveforms offset by the darting neon tetras at the other end of the desk. Solder smoke filled my nose, hot metallic ooze. Rob in his desk chair, carefully working one area of a board, touching it with the quivering nose of the red-sheathed probe, contemplating the changes in the waves, fiddling some more, checking the screen, reaching for some other piece from the tackle box of tiny components, like the boxes of glass and stone beads, filaments and findings I would later keep on my desk, and patiently repeating the process. I'd see his face turned in profile, his big black framed glasses, his heap of hair, sometimes a beard, all so purposeful, so calm and ordered. It's why I want to see a readout of that probe set against his heart. I want some evidence. Did the gun go off accidentally or not? Okay, the other half. Salinas Valley State Prison. Ken, just a very brief introduction to the program, and then Rose, I'll read 2, and then Rose will read. Okay. Salinas Valley State Prison is a maximum state prison where we think of as Soledad, and there is a program there in the mental health program, poetry workshop that was started by Ellen Bass in 2012, and we've continued it with Ken as a teacher, Rose Black as a teacher, who are here tonight, other teachers who are not here tonight, and it's been a miracle. We have men who have come and gone through the program, some who have become very serious writers, some for whom writing, I think, is a total lifeline. So we're going to read just a few of the poems Ken and Red Wheelbarrow published in this edition. If you look backward, there was one edition 2 years ago that had a very large section of artwork and poems, and you can find that still available. We've started a press to publish. We're looking to put out books for individual writers starting this spring. Write to Write Press, that's R-I-G-H-T, then W-R-I-T-E, write2writepress.org, and we have that Red Wheelbarrow available, as well as several lovely broadsides. So that is the program. The first poem that I'm going to read is by a poet named Larry Jones, and he's writing actually a very interesting novel as well as writing fabulous poetry, especially in response to prompts. This guy is the most immediate poet I think I've ever met. This one is called Pitching Fruit. I can tell you a lot about the leaves running through and over the ground as the cutters flip them on their backs, stomachs to the sky. As you gather the fruit like soldiers, you have to float them like a river running to the bank where you get real money for them. You have to keep the main line green. I'm talking about bringing fruit for your money. I pitch watermelons. I'm calling you, truck. Let me get this fruit on the truck, have it lie there like a dead man in a casket, dead in there as the sun beats down on our backs. But we're going into Mexico tonight. And then the next poem, I'm going to read is by Jason Brent, and he's written both fiction and writes poetry, and he's a very fine writer. This one is called Missing Smiles. I fight, and I fight, and I fight. In a world where I hate living, they take, and they take, and they take a love I don't feel like giving. They judge, and they judge, and judge. Yet my crime was not against women or children. I hate, and I hate, and I hate that death is misunderstood. Yet misunderstood is living. I've prayed, and I've prayed, and I've prayed just to be forgiven. Now I'll beg, and I'll beg, and I'll beg, and hope that someone has listened, that life is a beautiful thing, even when smiles are missing.
Wow. Jesus.
Rose Black is a fellow teacher and a very fine poet from Oakland, California.
Thank you. Okay, the first poet I'll be reading, his name is James Humdy, and he's going to have a chapbook published soon by Right to Right Press, and the working title of that is Confessions of the Tormented. And the poem I'm going to read was made into we have a broadside of it on our website. So if you like it, you can buy it. The river is alive. I took an old crate and a mop handle and found myself rowing across the river. As speed picked up, I was thrown dead center into the current, drowning, not knowing how to swim. But I found my will to remain upright and did as the fish did. I darted down and swam across to the other side of the river, where deer lapped in the shallow end. My crate and mop handle were no more useful than a bicycle in that situation. I survived because I needed to succeed at something before completely giving up. These men are just extraordinary, and it's a great gift to the teachers. And some of these poems have gone out into the larger world. Actually, I think I'll read a poem by Ubaldo Teque Jr. next, and he has been published by, not just by Red Wheelbarrow, but by Pilgrimage in Colorado. And he is just amazing. He's from Guatemala. Ode to my father. Grease-stained hands, fingernails and clothes. The engine's hot vapor brings a sweltering shower. Hands, gasoline they had to bear, transforming smooth skin into crust. The backside of the dollar reads, "In God we trust." Work 6 days of the week and 1 day of rest. Alcohol soothes the inside of his chest. From 8 years old he had to work, strong labor his homework. Barefoot and hungry, his pastime, counting stars in the dark. To my father, my hero. Ubaldo Teque crossed into this country, had a dramatic and difficult border crossing with his mother when he was 5 years old. So he's written a few poems about that as well. The next poet I'm going to honor here is Samuel Jones. And he's relatively new in our class, and he's just writes and writes and writes. It's just amazing what he can do. This one is called Bounded Region. I'm locked up and trapped, confined to my own mind. There's no restitution, no bail or paying fines. You can't redefine that definition of prison. Mentally enslaved from how I was raised was a given. Gang banging and killing was a part of the norm. I'm a natural disaster from being born in a storm. Can't protect me from harm. Felt so much pain, now it's painless. Same time, different day, but ain't a damn thing changing. For me, they aiming nameless, labeled a target. It's never ending, can't finish. I ain't even started. Cold-hearted in this race, take no breaks, I stay running. Full on an empty tank, my destination is suffering. It's puzzling, can't put it together, the pieces don't fit. Just want to separate from life and it being a bitch. Take a trip or vacation and I'll never come back. My mind state is concrete and steel. I'll forever be trapped. Thank you.